I'm gonna be the Cleveland Browns, right? And my hey Steve is this, because you brought it up. Hey Steve, how you doing? I'm the Cleveland Browns. We haven't had a good quarterback in decades, and we now have drafted Shedeur Sanders. But we're gonna start Joe Flacco, and Shedeur Sanders is going to be on our bench as the third quarterback. Steve, my question to you is,
yes, Steve Harvey, comedian, actor, TV host, Family Feud legend, and also a lifelong Browns fan, has gone on record saying he believes Shedeur Sanders should be the starting quarterback in Cleveland. This is huge, not just because of the name attached to it, but because of what it might mean for the Browns' quarterback room, for their future, and for Shedeur's career. So in this video, we're going to break it all down. We'll talk about Shedeur Sanders' journey to the NFL, where he stands right now with the Browns, exactly what Steve Harvey said, and why it matters, the current quarterback situation in Cleveland. And we'll even explore some comparisons to other quarterbacks who've been in
entire life. I happen to be 68 years old. I was sitting on the floor with my father in 1964 watching the Cleveland Browns beat the Baltimore Colts' ass. I was 7 years old. I watched that. I watched Jim Brown get up, be the last man into the huddle, all of that. I've watched us not win nothing since 1964. And you're gonna sit here and ask me about a damn quarterback? Joe Flacco will be playing a few games, but his old ass gonna get hurt.
We'll look at the bigger picture. Could Shedeur actually become the face of the Browns? Or is this just another case of hype that might fizzle out? Stick around, because this is going to be a deep dive. Most of you know the name because of his father, Deion Sanders, aka Coach Prime, Hall of Famer, one of the best athletes to ever live. Shedeur grew up around the game. He played high school ball in Texas and then committed to play college football under his dad. First at Jackson State, where he completely lit up the HBCU scene. Then, when Coach Prime took the Colorado job, Shedeur transferred with him, and the spotlight got even bigger. At Colorado, Shedeur put up some really strong numbers, especially
away from all these people. So Joe Flacco gonna get hurt. Then we're gonna go to this white dude that no one has ever heard of until draft day. We've never heard of him. Why Shedeur lasted this long in the draft is beyond me, but it's okay. They did what they did, and everybody knows what was done. We ain't gotta beat the dead horse. Now, the game I saw Shedeur play was an impressive game.
Remember that upset win over TCU? He threw for over 500 yards in that game and instantly became a household name. Now, yes, Colorado struggled as the season went on, but Shedeur proved he could handle pressure, he could make big-time throws, and he had that confidence that a lot of teams look for in a franchise quarterback. Fast forward to the NFL draft, Shedeur wasn't taken in the first round. Some scouts had concerns. The offensive line at Colorado gave up a lot of sacks, which affected his tape, and people questioned how much of his success came from scheme versus NFL-level talent. But the Browns saw enough to bring him in, and now here he is on the depth chart in Cleveland, sitting as the third-string quarterback. Now let's shift gears and talk about Steve Harvey's comments. So Steve Harvey, being a longtime Browns fan, has always had opinions about the team.
Never played football organized, PAL or no other league, and he got sacked 800 times, thrown for 2,000 yards in losses. Right. We find out later on that none of them damn linemen is playing football even today. They shouldn't have been playing in the first damn place. So now we're gonna watch this Gabriel boy go out here and panic his ass off soon as he get thrown in there with the Wolves.
Recently, he came out and said he believes Shedeur Sanders should actually be the starting quarterback. That's right, not third string, not even backup. He wants Shedeur on the field leading this team. Harvey specifically called out Joe Flacco, the veteran who's currently in front of Shedeur. He said Flacco's older, and because of his age, he's at risk of getting hurt, especially when he's chased around by defensive linemen. Basically, Harvey's point was, the Browns need a young, mobile quarterback who can handle today's NFL.
Pittsburgh is coming. Baltimore is coming. The real Wolves is coming. Now, I am praying to God that Shedeur gets an opportunity to show what he can really do. And I think that would be probably the best thing for him. But knowing the Cleveland Browns, they dumbass gonna trade him. They gonna trade him away.
Now, what's really interesting is that Harvey wasn't swayed by just one game. He mentioned Shedeur's preseason, where he looked promising at times. Yes, in his final preseason outing, Shedeur went just 3 for 6 passing and got sacked 5 times. On paper, that doesn't look great. But Harvey said the eye test matters more than the stat sheet. He likes what he sees in Shedeur's mechanics, his composure, and his ability to bounce back. And then Harvey dropped the big line. He said the Browns might make a dumb move by trading Shedeur away before he ever gets a real shot. That's a strong statement, and it resonates with a lot of fans who don't want to see the Browns waste young talent. So now we have to talk about the quarterback room in Cleveland. Right now, it's Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. Flacco is the seasoned veteran. He's won a Super Bowl, he's been in this league forever, and he's proven he can still step in and win games. But he's not the long-term answer. Dillon Gabriel is a rookie out of Oklahoma. He's also trying to carve out a role, and he's shown flashes of being a potential starter down the road. Then there's Shedeur, sitting third on the depth chart, but with a ton of hype, name recognition, and potential upside. The Browns are in an interesting spot. On one hand, they're a team that wants to win right now. They've got a strong defense, they've got playmakers, and they don't want to waste this window. That makes Joe Flacco the safe play. But on the other hand, if you're thinking about the future, you can't ignore the upside of a young quarterback like Shedeur Sanders. Now, let's dig deeper into the comparisons. History is full of quarterbacks who started out as backups or even third-string guys before breaking through. Tom Brady, famously, was a 6th-round pick sitting behind Drew Bledsoe. Kurt Warner went from bagging groceries to Super Bowl MVP. Even Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for a season before taking over. Could Shedeur Sanders follow that same path? Could he sit, learn, and then eventually step in and become the guy for Cleveland? That's the dream scenario. But there's also the flip side. Plenty of quarterbacks have sat on the bench, never got their shot, and eventually faded out of the league. So here's the big debate. What should the Browns do with Shedeur? Option 1, keep him as a developmental quarterback. Let him sit behind Flacco, learn the system, and get ready for the future. Option 2, give him some real reps this season. Maybe not as the starter right away, but at least in certain situations or if Flacco struggles. Option 3, trade him while his name value is high, get draft picks or assets, and let another team take the gamble. Personally, I think trading him would be a mistake. Even if he never becomes a star, fans love Shedeur because of the name, because of the swagger, and because he represents hope. When your team has struggled at quarterback for years, it's natural to want the exciting young guy to step in. And when someone as high profile as Steve Harvey says, "Hey, this kid should be the starter," it only fuels that excitement. But fans also need to be realistic. The NFL is a huge jump from college, and even for talented guys like Shedeur, the learning curve is steep. Throwing him into the fire too early could backfire. So what do you think? Should the Browns play it safe with Joe Flacco, or should they take the leap and give Shedeur Sanders his shot sooner rather than later? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments because this is one of those debates that could go either way. Some people are going to say, yes, start Shedeur now, let him grow on the field. Others will say, no, let the veteran handle it, don't risk the season. But at the end of the day, Steve Harvey has put a spotlight on this situation. Whether you agree with him or not, the fact that people are talking about Shedeur Sanders as a potential starter shows just how much intrigue there is around this young quarterback. And if you're the Browns, that's something you can't just ignore. All right, guys, that's the full breakdown. Shedeur Sanders, Steve Harvey's endorsement, and the Browns quarterback dilemma. It's going to be fascinating to see how this plays out in the coming weeks and months. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. And don't forget to drop your take in the comments. Should Shedeur Sanders get his shot as the Browns starter, or is it too soon?